Hey guys, it's Diana. Hired by Diana Myers, and tonight is Paint and Create, and we are going to be doing some watercolors. Very basic watercolors. I do mostly acrylic, but I like to try some different things and show people other stuff that they can do. Each type of art that you do contributes to whatever your main focus is, but I think that all of it is good, and I love to paint. So I did these strawberries, little abstract, and radishes. So let me get my real glasses on. Kind of an improvement. So tonight I thought this is what we do watercolors. This is International Watercolor Month, and a lot of your watercolor people are celebrating it, and I decided that we will do the same thing. So I'm also going to do on Saturday in my group, Hey Jim, which I'm going to put the link up, I'm going to be doing some abstract landscapes. Put this up. Go. And they're pretty cool. Sometimes I do them with a palette knife, or it's a lot of water involved and you need someplace where you can make kind of a mess. I do a small one, so it's nothing big. But the woman I learned it from, Judy Woods, she's displayed all her art, her abstract landscapes in museums and sells her work. So, but tonight we're doing somebody named, thank you. Somebody named, thank you, Jim. Thank you. Good to see you, Jim. Hey, Cindy. Her name is Andrea Nelson. I think they mostly teach kids, but she teaches a lot of simple techniques and stress relieving techniques. So I learned this from a bunch of blueberries that she did. And she talks about, copying work. And you can copy technique, but you really can't copy the style. She did one with blueberries. But I got to thinking about all the different things you could do simply by making blobs and having a very small pen to make them a little wonky. This looks like something you would buy in a card store. So I'm going to give you the basics on how to do it. Now, I'll give you the rundown. Let me see if I can get you guys up here. Okay. It's always fun to see if Facebook's going to cooperate or if I can do it right. Sometimes they get it right on the money, sometimes not so much. All right, so what am I doing wrong? So I'd like to be able to center my work and talk to you guys and see what you're saying. Come on, am I on? There I am. I did it. So let me turn this around. Looks like butterflies. Well, you can do anything. It's very abstract. But I got to thinking about it. You could just put a bunch of blobs on a piece of paper and just like make lines and make them in anything you want. Now I did do one, which I got here. I did one with cone flowers that she did. I do cone flowers with my palette knife, but she just did the top part and then the leaves, and it really simple stuff. And it's very little abstracty looking, but that's good. All right, so I'm going to take some. This is watercolor paper. I think it's 130, 140 pound, which just means it's a heavier paper. That's all that it means. If you get a thinner paper with watercolors, you've got to pre-stretch it or put it on a piece of something with washi tape or tape. You kind of let it sit there, because if you don't, it's going to buckle up on you. That's the kind of painting I'm going to do on Saturday, and we're going to talk about that. About stretching the paper a little bit and how I do it. Because anything that has a lot of water in it will make most papers, oh, come on. Recently, it will make most papers, I can get this on here, buckle. So the heavier the paint, it's not doing it. Well, there is no show, but it says tap show. There is no show. It says tap the show button. It's messing with stuff. Okay, done. Done, 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 done. No. Show. Show button. I have to hit that 85 times, I guess. So, if you have really thin paper, you use a lot of water, it's going to buckle. But if you got a heavier paper, it's not going to buckle. But with that particular technique, you need a thinner paper to get that effect because you get like this runny effect, and you don't get the same effect on the heavier paper. So different papers, just like different paints and different brushes, you use them for different techniques. Hey Tamara, so let us know where you're from, guys, anybody that's new on here, and if you rewatch later, same thing. I like to see what people like. So we got a little heavier paper, 140 pound paper. You know it's like heavier because all you gotta do is go like that. It's like almost like you want to say maybe cereal box paper, that kind of paper. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my my old paper water palette out. It's a mess. I've had it for a while. I cleaned it, believe it or not. And you got to get the paints all squishy. And I'm going to use mostly the reds and the greens. So I'm going to get them nice and soupy. Simply got to put on a lot of water and then let them sit a second and they'll get all goopy and gummy. Now in some techniques you would spray the paper, but in this technique we're not. We're going to keep this pretty simple. So I want to make some strawberries. Now this one I start off doing strawberries, end up just like making, you guys ever seen radishes? Some have white tips, but really you could probably do this with pumpkins. You could do this, well she did it with blueberries. You could do probably a lot of different vegetables simply by putting just a kind of indication of what they might look like. And how I started doing that was, now I really suggest that most real watercolor artists, they would have 2 buckets of water. I didn't do that. I still got some red left over from my this painting. So I just got some water here, but it's got a little tint to it, but not a bad thing since we're using the same colors. Turn this back a little bit. So, I'm sure you can see it. You're just going to drop on some water, not complicated. And you got to kind of do it, and maybe you really got to be able to see this too, so make sure you got good light on it. Kind of a wet heart shape. Just drop it on there. Don't spread it out, just leave it there. And I'm going to do like 5. I'm going to try to imitate as close as I can this painting. I'm kind of looking at it. So I'm doing 5 hearts. I did one kind of backwards too. You can do however you want. You could do a basket too. After you do this, you can put a basket in. You can do all kinds of stuff. Let's put this like over in this corner more. So now you get these little pockets of water. Now I'm going to go into that red. I'm just going to go into the red like this. Make sure it's nice and soupy. Okay, a little pink if you want to, whatever. And you're just going to drop it into that water and let it spread. Don't worry about it. It's not going to run outside that water. As long as you hit that like that, it's fine. Now there's several things we can do to this to make it look a little pimply, or if we want a shadow on one side, and I will show you that. Oh, or not put so much paint on there. But really I want these pretty red. I'm trying to keep this simple. So you could do carrots like this. Really a lot of stuff. I did the smaller ones, but I did them after. Alright, so there you go. You're kind of like heart shapes a little bit. Now, you can, if you want to lift out some of that water, you get a paper towel. You can just dry your brush off with a paper towel or whatever you use. Just like people use shop towels. And just get a lot of that. Oh, let me rinse a little bit. Get a lot of that water off. But all you want to really do is kind of pick up where you don't want so much water. So you could have a highlight like right on this side if you wanted to. And just leave this red. You can even drop in more red. And you could like make little dimples with the end of your brush. Now I have a bamboo brush. There's all different types. This is a water brush. I love this brush, but I have all kinds of other ones. But this is like my favorite. And then if you want to make even more, you can take the paper towel, kind of come in here, make a little point, and just kind of dab it a little bit. You get those almost like, you know how strawberries have those little little pimples that get the seeds in it actually. You can kind of come in here and dab. You're not looking for perfection here because you'll get more perfection when you do the, you want a little wonky when you do the pen. Now you don't have to do anything to these if you don't want to. You could let them just like they were, but you're going to need that to be dry because in order to use any other color, a little more water in this, to use any other color, if that's what you're looking for, you can blend another color with this simply by hitting it with that color. But in this case, we're just going to do a solid color. Now if I come in here with that green, when this is wet, it's going to blend right in here and make a funny brown. So be aware of that you have to keep it separated, in other words. A little more red up, a little more red this side. So you can play with, just keep them inside where we put. And another thing is, now I'm going to speed dry this with the blow dryer. I suggest, like I said, to dry this. If you try to put another color on here, it's going to get funny. It's going to blend. It's going to look weird. I mean, if that's what you want, like, you know, say you're doing a seascape, you did a blue, and you want to add like a little greenness to it, the green will bleed into the blue and it gives you a really pretty effect. In this case, not so much. Now, another thing is when you use a blow dryer, if this is still quite wet, it's going to blow that paint around. So be aware you need to use a real blow dryer and don't put it right on there. Kind of just kiss near it. You know, I'm not going right on top of it. It dries fast. Each time has to be dry though, so you don't hit the colors, unless you want to, like I said. It's pretty dry, pretty close. So maybe a little bit more here. There's thousands of techniques out there. It's like, I think this is one of the easiest things to learn. I mean, until you get into real complicated. There's people who do portraits out of watercolor, which is fascinating. That's what a lot of your original masters use. They use water. Pigment and water. Well, they had to make the pigment, so it's pretty good. So now, I want to do some green. So I'm going to take the same brush, and I'm going to add some stems. And now, I didn't do them exactly, but you know, strawberry leaves are kind of odd shaped. So I wasn't too worried, except I wanted them to kind of be like a V a little bit, so that's what I did. I kind of just, I'd say I didn't wet the paper. This is what you call wet on wet. And I'm going to make another one here. Just kind of wonky. I got my paint nice and soupy too. Let's put one right here. Let's put one here. Put one right here. We'll do one just like one like right here. And you gotta be perfect. It's just nice about this. You kind of gotta use your little imagination a little bit. Put a big one right here too. Now I put some little red ones, so I'm gonna rinse. And I did them kind of light, so I'm not gonna make no little bubble of water. I'm just gonna pick up that red, kind of dilute a little bit. I can do that by simply going over to the side where I mix my colors and see how pink that is. I'm just gonna add more water to it, and that'll lighten it up a little bit. See what it did? It's lighter. I'm gonna make some little ones. I kind of want it to balance a little bit, so I'm kind of looking around, see where I want some. We're going to put some big ones in too. Makes it look fancy, like a, like a postcard or something. Makes it look fancy when you do the drawing on it. Yeah. Okay, one more, I think. What do they want to read about? Let's do the right here. You can add anything you want. Let's do it right here. Okay, a little too red. That's okay. I'll add a little water. Add a little water. Add a little water. Take some off. Dry the brush out a little bit. And just take it off while it's still wet. There you go. Alright, so now, what's the next step? We're going to take a very fine pen. Now, I ordered these, so don't ask me. Some Amazon special. But, they're very thin, small. I ordered a set. Some of them have brushes, this one don't. But I use these for like when I'm sketching outside. This is what I use. But it's just very, they call them micro pens too, very small. And that's what I use on this. First we want to dry this. I have a couple that have very fine brushes on them too. But you could use any kind of fine pen. There's all different kinds. Some of the brush markers have a brush on one end and a small pen on the other end. It's like a brush. So look around. Basically all you need is black for this kind of stuff. You don't need nothing fancy. Or even a good old-fashioned pen will work too. I've done that. Too much. A little bit out. So I got myself my little micro pen. Let's see who's on here. So I got myself my little micro pen. If I can get you guys over here so I can see comments. Come on, cooperate. I have to wait for it to go all the way over before I'll do that. Jack and Jill went up the hill, Joellen. Joellen does this thing, you know, I get compensated by Facebook for people talking and I can't think of it right now. And just having conversations, like and share, I get paid for all that now. So it's not a lot of money, but it's something. So the more you comment and talk to each other, just like and share, all that stuff. Conversations are a big thing. I get a lot of that in my group. They all talk to each other. How now, brown cow? So, now the best thing to do here is to get started on our little strawberries. I think most of it's dried. No, I think the green part needs to dry a little bit more. Let me get my, I think I can just kind of dab some of it with my green, or with my paper towel with my green. There you go. I dried some of it. So just kind of start making some wonky little hearts, like that. Put some dots in it. They're strawberries, right? Don't be like too precise, just kind of use your imagination. This one I did upside down. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then, like, you know, when you're doing this stuff, you know, sometimes I think people, like, they think about it too much. Sometimes the best thing to do is just let it go. Just do it. Do you ever find that sometimes when you do something where you don't really think about it too much, it comes out pretty darn good? Well, you say, well, how did I do that? Well, do it again. That's how you figure it out. So, let it go. Just do it, you know. So now, you know, to make it fancy-smancy too, we will add a couple more, like, kind of little strawberries. And we'll give them a little hat. See, I did one right here behind this one too. I did one right over here. do a couple more of them, but let me just let me do these guys. Like a little, some of them, not all of them, I went and made like, you know, like the veins of the bigger leaves. Oh, I'm just getting wet. Some of this is a little more wetter than it's supposed to be, but that's okay. This is all fun. Let's put another one here. I feel like there's a little nakey spot there. Yeah. Give some of these maybe a little stem. This one. And then what I did was I took my brush and I put it into a little bit of the red. I got into the water. And then what I did was I flicked. There you go. Get yourself an interesting little card. Let's put another strawberry here too. Make him upside down too. Kind of fill it out, whatever you think looks good. And I put some stems. Like that, just to kind of give it some character. Just fun stuff. If you want to color some in afterwards, you still can. It's a color. I might add a little red to this one. You still can. A little water, send it out a little bit. Not too dark. Yeah. That's cool. Alright, so that's 2. Chances are pretty good that you guys are going to end up with these in your ATC, so just let you know. That was the plan. Lemons! Lemons would be good, yes! I love doing lemons. Hey, Donna. Yeah, so now I got this one. A little wet, you gotta be careful. And I got this one. You could make a border with these. You could do all kinds of stuff. Oranges, bananas. I mean, there's a lot you could do. So now I'm going to do these big old radishes. But I started out doing these in the strawberries. I says, well, I did strawberries. So I guess we're going to do radishes. Now, I just grew some radishes. I ate them. Only got 2. The cucumbers are doing good. But they had white tips. They're like a longer one, so we're going to do that. But they look almost like a rutabaga. You guys remember rutabagas? They're root vegetables too. I just planted some more radishes. Alright, so let me turn this around. So, Saturday, like I said, if anybody wants to, put your back up. Anybody who wants to come over, I put the link up. Is the link up? 4 o'clock every Saturday. I do a different class. All different class. I do inspiration. I read out of books. Mostly we do acrylic painting. We've been doing ATCs, little cards. Trading them. You don't have to do that, but sometimes I do classes on it. Just little art drawings that I do so that we can share, you know, different artwork that you could do on them or on anything. And so this is one that Barb actually sent to me. I think she's on here, that she made. And we do paintings and we do all kinds of stuff. So you got to kind of go over, it's a free group, and join the group. So I put the link up there, I think. The link up there. It's up there. So make sure you join, because Saturday we are going to be doing abstract landscapes. And that's a little different way, a whole lot different way than the way I did this. So you got to really watch it. So I'll be looking for you guys. All right, let me turn this around. Mostly I do acrylic painting. I'm kind of a impressionist. I did oil for 20 years. I've been mostly acrylics now. A lot of, I do palette knife. A lot of palette knife is done in oil, but I do it in acrylic. Right, so we're going to do great big swatches of red now. Great big swatches. You can literally do a lot. Like I said, I have done like flowers, and I just put big swatches on there. Try to just get a little bit of the image. I'm going to read some water first, just so that I don't go outside the line. So let me get another paper towel. Like I do suggest if you're changing colors, you're doing a lot of different things, that you have one that has really clear water and the other one's for rinsing your brush. It really does work. I'm not doing anything different today, so I don't have to do that. Alright, so I'm going to make a big puddle of water again. Just get a little pink to it because it's a dirty water. Just like another same thing, like a big pink heart. You kind of got to imagine what the radish is going to look like. If you're doing a lemon, you'd have to do shadows too, which is another thing. That's why you use your brush to take off paint and your paper towel, or there's other things you could use to adjust the watercolor. The trick of the watercolor is, which I've learned, is controlling the watercolor. Because I personally like a lot of the ones, like when I do the abstract one, where you just let the water go, and when it's done, it's dry, I have to imagine what's there, use my imagination. Then I can fill it in with more paint or whatever I want. So just so you get the idea that it's a little different than what we're doing today. Now some of you people on here, my regulars, have seen the abstract ones that I do. I do them in small postcard size. It'd be like half of this size. It's just a big water mess, but they're really cool. A few I kept. I got them in a book. She does different size ones. I couldn't imagine doing this. It's such a mess. You'd have to have a really big table on the big ones. I would imagine, anyways. So I just kind of play with this stuff. I like doing this stuff though, but I feel like you should try different things. Even though I was an oil artist and I worked at Painting with a Twist, and I fell in love with doing art or teaching art. I've been doing it for 40 years. I always felt like, if you're artistic, you should try different things. I mean, it gets expensive, but you can make things out of trash bags and everything else. I've done that too. Guys, I just seen the decoupaging. I have strawberry baskets left over, and I made some jam. They made them. I said, oh my God, I'm doing those next. We're going to decoupage some strawberry baskets. I don't know if you are, but I am. All right, so now I got to go in here and I got to adjust this. I can leave it like it is. Or I want to make little dots almost, little images of well, with this it's not dots so much as there's little lines in the roots, so I'm just going to kind of go through and just take some off. With my paper towel. You can also use your brush. Just I got a lot of water on there. I was talking. So let's get the water off of my brush. Kind of go through and make some of those lines. They're going to smush together, but that's what watercolor does. Oh, I went the wrong way. I want to go this way. That's what watercolor does. It kind of does its own thing. But like I said, I like the look of when the colors all mush together. Now that they come up with all these watercolor pens, you're not seeing that so much. But that's one of the things I like about watercolor. The kind of watermarks that get in there like that. I like that. That makes you know. That's how you know it's a watercolor. You know what I mean? That's how you know. I'm going to add a little color to this one. That's how you know. Alright. So now that's basically them guys. That's the radishes. So let me dry that a little bit. Like I said, if there's a lot of water on here, don't get too crazy with the motor. Or just let it dry. You can just take a towel or something, or paper. I mean, if you want the colors to mix, not a problem. Like this one, I got it too soon to see what happened. That's cool though. Blending. Play ball. Yeah, I went swimming today. I didn't go, oh my God, guys. It happened again. I got sick again. I'm not leaving the house ever again. I do think it was something I ate. I'm almost positive. I got right up. I went out to the kitchen table and all over my pad, my, table, I think. So I was like, oh my God. So Yesterday I spent most of the day not in good shape. So today I feel a lot better. Didn't eat a lot, but I'm not supposed to anyway, so. Alright, so here we go. We're gonna make radishes. And radishes have like a tail. They have a tail. All of them do, whether they're little or big. But I'm gonna leave the ends white because of some of the radishes, they are like whitish. And I can kind of, like I said, if I don't like something, I can still come back and add color. We still got to do the green. I actually made these kind of short, but you know, radishes, I just pulled some out that weren't doing anything, and they had leaves on them like this. They were huge. They're huge. All right. So now, these are pretty dry. Wait a minute. These are pretty dry. I'm going to add the green leaves. I'm just going to pick up a green. I think I'm going to make these a little longer than the picture. Maybe just a tad longer. This is wet, dry on wet, or wet on wet, whatever you want to call it. No, this is wet on dry. Sorry, I said that wrong last time too. Wet on the dry paper. Let's make these kind of longer. That'll look more like a radish. There you go. So you bring it down there, let it melt into it. Right. And then I want a couple small ones. I'll do them after. Give that time to dry. Yeah, I'm going to put some like little radishes. Like right here I put one. Yeah, let's do some, we're going to do some fronds, them. Then I put a big one right here. Get some green again. Let's do the green. And I'm going to make some. What's up in there? Here. Do one on here. Actually, I made a little. Let's go down here. I made another little one here. I can just make the body now, like that. All right. Now I need red on these two, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just copying what I did, so. Oh, gotta water that down, it's too red. Just put it off to the side and make it lighter with some water. Yeah, last week we did rocks. They were a lot of fun. I love doing the rocks. I got a bunch of rocks now. I got all these ideas. Who knows? We might do a rock again. That's a possibility. So I just dabbed some of that on. I'm going to add some red back into it. A lot of fun. There you go. Lost my brush. It's okay, I don't need it. Go get it later. All this bright light in here makes it look really dark under my table. Alright, so let's do the same thing. Just kind of make this wonky. Brush gets wet and it doesn't wanna be wonky. It's wet too. I don't want to do any of the wet ones. That's pretty much what you gotta do. You can get as clever as you want. It's really just about controlling the water and using your imagination. Now, I didn't splash any colors on this, but you could. You could. If you want to. I usually sign them. Always sign your work, right? I never remember. Now these are probably going to be in the mail for ATC guys. Just so you know that. You got them all signed now. There they are. I'll show you what's down here. I usually take a picture when I get done because I'm talking. Sometimes I overlook things. It's hard to talk and do this, so I will post a bunch of pictures in the group. Anybody wants to come over, just hit the button. It'll take you over. Usually once you're in there, you can find them. You know, just like and share whatever you want to do. So that's pretty much it for tonight. I will see you guys all Saturday, and it's not here. And tomorrow night I'm doing that mermaid with all the jewels on it. We're doing that in my paid membership, which I'll be opening up again here shortly. It'll be the same thing, same price, $21, and instead of the $25 now. So I'll let you know what we're doing. So if you want to do some of the old stuff I did, like all those fancy pumpkins and all that from last year, that's all in there. And because Facebook is changing everything and we have to store our stuff, I'm storing all mine on YouTube, which is really nice because, you know, when you go over to YouTube, it's all in order. On here, you don't know what you're going to get. A couple of days, this will be on here, and then you got to find it. So now, 28 to 30 days, this video will be in here. And after that, I got to figure out, they'd send me a message. So I've been, once a month, I go and I download everything that I want to keep, mostly from my membership people. But I do keep these too. But what's nice is all of them are on there. You can just by the name of what, say you radishes, strawberries, just punch it in, it'll come up. Whereas before, no, I didn't. And then when I first started doing it, I didn't know we were supposed to name them. So that got very, very confusing. But there's 100 videos on there, public videos. And when you join the group, you will be able to get the link to see the other videos that I do. Now, I have released everything in, currently everything in the other group onto YouTube. So if you get a chance, go over there, and you'll see there's a lot of artists going over there because unless you want to get your own website, which is another whole story, that's what people are doing for storage. And Facebook, I understand, because we want, you know, I pay for storage for movies and stuff, and for my photos and, you know, my emails. So anyways, guys, so I'll see you over on Saturday, and I'll see my membership people tomorrow night. So you guys, I hope inspiration finds you wherever you go, and have a great night, and I will see you Saturday, and I'll see my members tomorrow night. Make art, guys. Make lots and lots of art. I'll see you later. Bye.